I think we was playing though. See this brisket here? I tried telling y'all about tendernism. I've been trying to tell these folks this stuff real down shallow place. Shake it a little bit. Oh, you too far.
What it do, beautiful
one
people?
In the nation.
How y'all doing? I'm reporting on this man today, Mr. Walt, a.k.a. Unc, a.k.a. Tendernism. I know y'all been hearing this phrase all over TikTok. Because everywhere you go, it's tendernism. Tendernism.
Tendernism.
I found out about tendernism on TikTok just like everybody else. So Mr. Walt doesn't just have a big personality, but he has a big following on TikTok. The following got so intense that people began to travel. Yes, people was going out to see him. So a lot of people were misinformed and thought that he was saying Marietta, Georgia, but come to find out, he was in Marietta, California. As Unc's following began to increase, so did the love of Unc. Like, people loved Unc. Not just because of the food, because the food was amazing, but they just wanted to see him.
I'm about to wake up, take this hour-and-a-half ride, and go to Destination Smokehouse. As soon as I got there at 10:30, boom, line already there. As soon as I get inside, it's another line, you know what I'm saying? But, yeah, I got to see Unc too, you know what I'm saying? But, yeah. They'd be, like, waiting in line for Supreme or some shit. Yeah, man. Bitch, I got here at 10:30. It's just 12 o'clock, and I'm still in line.
Tendernism. The most hype word on the internet. Destination Smokehouse is going viral for it, so I pulled up to see if it lives up to the hype and meet this guy.
All right, boy, look at them got tall. Hey, all right, boy, look at we gonna be all right.
After waiting in line for 2 hours, we finally got our food. Presentation-wise, everything looked amazing.
Pulled up to Smokehouse Destination to see about Mr. Tenderism for myself, and let me tell you, it did not disappoint. So he was watching me in the back trying to make this meat fall off the bone, and it wasn't quite falling. So he wasn't having that. He said, let me see about this meat, because somebody said it ain't falling off the bone. So let's check it out. So he did his thing, you know, what we all know him for. And you see, that meat fell off the bone. It did what it was supposed to do. It was definitely a worth it. I give it a 9.5 out of 10. I would definitely recommend. The food was so good. It was tender, juicy, flavorful.
I done drove 2 hours out here to try this barbecue because it was commented so many times. We out here in Marietta at Destination Smokehouse. It got that old school big
so
barbecue
as you can see,
classic.
tendernism had them going crazy. And it was all gravy until this video hit the net.
What we gonna do the thing, and however, here we are today, and it's working beautiful.
Like ragu.
Boy, look what he say, Destination Smokehouse.
Black diamonds.
That's what we do down here in the southern part of California, Marietta. Nick, that's my partner.
My brother
Walker.
You mean to tell me Unc don't own that barbecue restaurant?
No,
what?
He does not own the restaurant. Which made things more complicated because whether he knew it or not, or whether it was planned or not, Unc had solidified his image and his phrase tendernism for marketing the smokehouse. So the reason why so many black people were frustrated is because black communities always had to be the talent, you know, in everything. Blues, hip-hop, soul food, and barbecue. They didn't have the money, but the white owners did, and so they own it, and they scale and profit more than the blacks. Eventually, they push them out and price them out, and then the black person is forgotten about. So watching this triggered a lot of black people. It was almost like they was being rage baited. And then at that moment, they just wanted to protect Unc because they thinking he might be too old to realize that he might be being taken advantage of. Because black people aren't upset because a white man owns the barbecue restaurant. They're mostly upset because the ownership keeps changing hands. So they can't never gain wealth. And the wealth never transfers to their families. they can't leave an inheritance. And so it creates frustration. It's not jealousy. It's not hate. It's just frustration of wanting to have something for themselves. So what may make Nick feel like it's aggression toward him as a white man is the total opposite. It's the protection that they have for Unc because of this reoccurring pattern that they've seen before. Just know in the black community, if we call you auntie or uncle, or we say you invited to the cookout, we serious about you. And so that's all that was when it came to Unc. Unc inspired a lot of black men too. They saw themselves in Unc. Like, I could have that too.
That's what I'm saying. Unc a real chef like me. What you doing, Unc? You can be like me, man, selling your own plates and all that. I mean, look at me. If I could do it, you can do it, man. Come on, Unc, man. Don't let them people do you like that, man. No. Know your
And
worth,
so it
man.
began, the comment section began to be filled. And it wasn't that black people was upset. It's just that when you watch your culture become someone else's inheritance time and time again, frustration isn't jealousy. It's just the pain of that memory. Damn, we done been bamboozled, humbly Queen and said. It's the photo for me because it's like the wig was snatched off. And Cece says, every time, man, they use us as mascots. As long as he's respected, paid, and honored very well. Pink Pineapple Lady says, as usual. Jim Bossy says, Black Diamond then uses the black man as the mascot. I'm over it. Was planning to visit when I flew back home to California for him, but not anymore. Red 22 says, I guess we're all here after learning from another post that this restaurant isn't black owned. And the photo of Cardi B is sent to me. What you mean that's not his restaurant? Queen says he needs to get his own restaurant, manifesting that for him. Simply 87 feels like a bait and switch. Damn. Desmond says, I'm planning a whole birthday trip to try this damn food, and it's not even black owned. Oh no. And Trail the artist says, Unc, that ain't your brother. Sad. But you know, honestly, I have to say, and I'm a supporter of all business, regardless if you black or white. But I was impressed to see all those black people out there supporting this business because they thought it was a black-owned business. They drove hours and flew out just to meet him and just to be in his presence. And that made me happy. And I could see in his face when he was meeting them, he felt good. And so that is encouraging and dispels myths of blacks not supporting one another in business. But some were still bothered because it wasn't black owned.
Why do you need him to own the restaurant? So that you can get online and bash the restaurant, give it terrible reviews, tell people not to go there, and ruin another black owned restaurant? All right? Is that why you need him to own it? That man come, do what he good at, and go home. And that's what a lot of people like to do. They don't want the headache of having to actually deal with the business aspect of owning a business. Right? If that man good at cooking the food, he back there cooking the food. Unless you found out that they ripping him off on how much he getting paid or they treating him poorly, you really don't need to be concerned about the conditions in which he's accepted. If he didn't get on TikTok complaining to y'all and telling y'all that the owner do him terrible, they underpaying him, he ain't got on here and complained about nothing. But yet you complaining for him. Let's just take one of the well-known black-owned barbecue restaurants here on TikTok, which is Les, with them oxtails. What do y'all do with him constantly? Get online and talk about how much his oxtails is. It's overpriced. It wasn't this. It wasn't that. Lying and saying it ain't real oxtails. You ain't did nothing but try to bash and ruin that man's restaurant. But somehow, when it come to this man, you upset because he ain't the owner of the barbecue restaurant that he advertising. Like I said, I guess it's because you don't get the opportunity to ruin his business like you be trying to do everybody else who black. No, he don't own the barbecue restaurant that he get on TikTok and do the videos for. What difference do it make? Why do you need him to own the restaurant? So that you can get online and bash the restaurant, give it terrible reviews, tell people not to go there, and ruin another black-owned restaurant? Right?
It's just how you
Is that
look
why
at
you need
it.
him to
But
own
I
it?
have to somewhat agree with what she's saying as well, because you do have those that will come to your establishment and come there for the mere purpose of tearing it down or saying you're too high in your prices. And I mean, because they're paying $190 for a plate. And I know some black owned barbecue restaurants that's charging maybe 65 to 85, and I hear stuff like they're too high. So she does have a point there. So after all the backlash, they attempt to do quality control with this video.
Nick, you my brother, you my ex-bro. We gonna keep it that way. Hey, we don't need no hate. Look, don't hate on him. Don't hate on that we trying to do.
I can take it. It's not about that.
Take
You
that.
already know.
Hey, look.
Yeah.
Hey, if y'all want to help something, send some good comments. Come down to destination. It's in the southern part of California, city be Marietta. I'm talking about destination one in the nation. Then you'll understand. This my part.
In this video,
Nick,
people
my brother.
heard key words: partnership, brother, and they just start putting one and two together, that Nick actually must have funded everything and Mr. Tendernism was the talent. But as soon as the dust seemed like it was trying to settle and things was getting back to normal, here comes the most respected food critic on TikTok, Mr. Keith Lee. He enters the chat, well, actually enters the restaurant and gives them a very solid review. And he wanted to meet Unc. Not only did he want to meet Unc, he wanted to give Unc $4,000. But when he got in the restaurant and mentioned that to the staff, they told him that Mr. Tendernism was unavailable. And if he was going to give that money, he needed to give it to the full staff and not just Mr. Tendernism. So it sparked a debate. After that, Keith Lee walked out. He gave the money to other people. And so people was like, wait a minute now, Unc would have wanted that money. And why was he blocking the money? And so it brought a debate to the audience. They started asking, what's really going on? Who owns this? Who actually profits from this? And is he being protected or is he being overlooked because he's an elderly person? And so, once again, the community began to not be aggressive, but it's more so protection. They want to protect him because they see he's older. And it just another, I'm sorry, it's a trauma response, okay? Because we watched black inventors in the past, like people like Garrett Morgan, who invented the traffic light, but had to sell his rights because he lacked access to capital. And you got people like Elijah McCoy, who created a revolutionary lubrication system for steam engines. His invention was so impressive that when people would try to buy it, to make sure they got the one he made, they would ask for the real McCoy. But white companies profited massively while McCoy struggled financially. So again, it's not because he's white, it's just we've seen this before.
Food was quick. It only took us 10 minutes to get it. And Unc is here, but Unc walking around with 4 different security guards, which I fully understand because people probably bombarding him nonstop. For me, the standout was absolutely the Oxtail. But past the Oxtail, the standout is Unc. Not only, in my opinion, is it extremely hard to get people engaged like that, to show your true personality, to be yourself, no matter how fast things take off in the space. I don't think he intended for it to go the way it's going. I think he just wants to show his love of food and his love of what it is that he's doing. I'm personally taking $5,000 out of my own bank, and we going to say happy holidays to Unc. So, update. We could not get to Unc. Security said it was over with for the day. They said that he was filming something. I believe he was filming a podcast. We had $5,000 in cash, or $4,000 in cash that we was going to give him a hand. They didn't take it, so we not only going to take this money and feed some people, but we just going to do what we feel like we're supposed to do in the community. And as always, after this, I pray and hope that they continue to reach their target audience. God
so
bless you.
just like that, Unc was at $4,000. $4,000. And people was like, Unc needed that money. Unc wanted that $4,000. You mean somebody Keith Lee came to give him $4,000? And y'all told him no? They was like, Unc ain't know about that. So people started trying to inquire because, we was trying to figure out, everybody was trying to figure out what's going on. And so from what they were told was that the owner, which is the business partner, said if they couldn't share the money amongst the whole staff, Unc couldn't get the money. And they rejected Keith Lee's offer. At this point, people wanted to see Unc and find out was he okay. I mean, nobody would reject that. It's not too many people would reject $4,000 in hand right now. So people started asking questions, and they got on another podcast for another attempt of quality control. And this is what happened.
If I would have known he was here, I would have probably asked Edie to stop for a few seconds so we could go over there. That's what I would have done. So we could go over there. That's what I would have done. From what I've watched, but ever since I reached out to him, I've gotten zero response. I thought I was very respectful. From what I've watched from the review, it just didn't seem like he really captured what it's like when you come to this place.
Getting used to this, so I don't want to make it boring.
Ain't nobody coming to see you, Otis.
It's just disappointing that as popular as people can be on social media, people don't know everybody.
Podcast. He's sitting in with us. Then that way we can clear all this stuff up. Like I am, in a sense, a little older than you. A little bit, not much now. And so, hey, I want to get it in over. Let don't be candy coated. Let's just sit down, gentlemen conversation, drink some Kool-Aid and something together, and we eat something.
As you see, Unc started speaking a whole nother language. Unc wanted that money, but he said, blah, 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 we could eat some, I still with some Kool-Aid. Listen, Keith Lee, come back. I need them $4,000. I need them 4 bands. So after this video, everybody chimed in. Everybody had an opinion.
Is an old black man being used as a mascot for another man, white man's restaurant. Had it not been for food reviewer Keith Lee, most of us wouldn't have known it. He's in Hawaii right now, but he went to Destination Smokehouse to meet Unc, Mr. Tendernism himself, a guy who loses his mind every time the ribs fall off the bone. So Keith went there to review the food and gave an honest review, talked about how good the food was, but that it wasn't near as tender as what it is in the videos. Even was going to give him thousands of dollars in tips. They refused to let him give Unc the money. Here's the truth behind the whole thing. Mr. Tendernism doesn't own the restaurant. He is simply an employee. This man in this video is the owner, and this was his response to Keith Lee's review.
If I would have known he was here, I would have probably asked Edie to stop for a few seconds so we could go over there. That's what I would have done.
When it comes to Destination Smokehouse, and this is going to be my last video about them. Destination Smokehouse wasn't a smokehouse at first. It was a struggling family-owned coffee business. Nick was a barista. Nick didn't even know how to smoke meats. Now, this is all according to Nick and according to the Willie D Live video. I know it's a long interview. It's like 30 minutes. But if you make it past like 12 minutes, you will see why I wouldn't see Unc being fit to run his own business. Nick didn't know how to cook no meats. And it was Unc's idea to start kind of cooking food in the coffee shop. And then that turned into Unc kind of grilling stuff out in the back. And then it just kind of grew from that. And then the way Nick wants to act like Unc is a partner in the business. In that interview, the way Unc said he could use that money lets me know that Unc ain't getting money like that. I mean, it's what we all know, because that's just how it's given. Uncle Nearest, Uncle Walt, he gave him the recipe. He gave him the know-how to put money in his pocket. I wouldn't be surprised if Unc made $16 an hour. Unc was probably really happy with that $16 an hour. I wouldn't be surprised if maybe Unc now is maybe on a salary. I don't think Unc is part owner. And when they say partner, I don't know. You can use clever words to get around things. But anyway, Destination Smokehouse was a coffee shop. I don't know what the name was before it was Destination Smokehouse, because it was a coffee shop. But Unc had grill, smoke, meats since 2021. And he did introduce oxtails to the business. So putting oxtails on the menu was his idea.
What's up, man? Let's do some barbecue. Yeah, idea, man. We're gonna try it. I said, let's go to Home Depot and get one of them little grills. We don't need the kitchen. We just need the little grill. And that's how it began.
We did 10 slabs of ribs. He cooked them his way, direct heat. He did, I don't know how many pounds, but a lot of half chickens. And we sold out of both in about like a 4-hour window. And to us, that was a lot. We were really like happy. Good shot. Yes, good shot. Thank you.
Oh, for sure. Hey, I'll take them back.
All right, cool. Unfortunately, something like so abrupt came up that the guy that whenever I called him answered the phone, he wasn't answering the phone. I later found out he was going through some really serious personal stuff and he was unavailable.
I wasn't there because of family matters, but when I got back, it was all good.
I learned to cook barbecue from absolute zero to where we are now. I was watching every video on earth. Aaron Franklin, I'm gonna learn from this guy in his PBS videos and YouTube cooks, Malcolm Reed, Harry Sue, and Mad Scientist Barbecue. So that was how I learned how to cook. Walter was gone about a month. When Walter came back and he tried my brisket for the first time, in his face, it had about 5 or 6 different emotions on it. I just watched him and I was like, he's a little bit shocked. And he's also looking like, wow, I'm proud of my guy. Man, I don't know how he figured this out or who taught him, because when I left here, he wasn't even cooking ribs.
Look, recipes and this and that. Destination got a recipe. Nick. Booyah.
I'm new to this game. I'm in it 5 years. I'm proud of what I've accomplished, but I would never say that people that live and breathe this a lot longer than me, that I know more than them, or I'm gonna explain something that's in their blood. I love every bit of it, but I have so much respect for the people that when they started this, there was no glamour to it. And I'm just happy to put out the food that we do and just keep doing it.
Yeah, I think that the reason why so many people are interested in your story is because you do remind people of that uncle, that grandfather, that guy that's down to earth and who's touchable, right? And so when people hear about somebody that they feel a certain connection to, they think that if they remotely think that that person might be taken advantage of, they're going to have questions. And although I understand your side, what you're saying, I also understand the side of everybody else, because if you think about the dynamics of black-white relationships in this country, historically, black people have gotten the short end of the stick. So people don't want to see a situation, and y'all know y'all's situation better than anybody. So, and I did a little research on y'all, and I understand you guys are really, really close, really kind of like brothers, and you being Walt out being more like a big brother. So I get that. But you know, it's also it's one of those things that it cannot be ignored. People want to know, like, Walt, you're doing so much to help this brand. Do Walter have ownership or equity in a Destination Smokehouse? Is that something that you can share?
Everybody's business ain't nobody's business. But this is how I put it. I'm telling you that. It's because it's my business. It's whatever. It's Nick's business. That sharing your business and all of this here, we just have Destination One in the nation. We on one kick. I can't get on sharing personal, how much money or this and that. I'm letting, okay, we cut this through the chase. He's not taking advantage of me. We're going to be here until the end. I'm talking about not the F-R-I-E-N-D, the E-N-D part. See, people get that friend, that F-R-I part, but that N, that E-N-D, they don't have that no more. They don't have it no more, nowhere. So let's get it right. Just you can't find tendernism nowhere. Get it right, and you know exactly what I'm talking about. And the other side do too. So y'all need just come on, let's come together. Cause that negativity, I can't be around. I'm telling you, I'm to the Indian friend, not the Western. E-N-D part. Now, can you understand now? I'm gonna explain something.
Out of respect to Wall, I know where he's coming from. When we first started doing this, he didn't want to get on camera. He's private, he's old school.
Mr. Tendernism is in tender trouble. There are a total of 4 trademark applications pending for the word tendernism, and unfortunately, Mr. Tendernism is not an applicant on any of those applications. Now, I'm Attorney Candace. Let's talk about what we can do to help save Mr. Tendernism's brand so he doesn't end up like Ain't She Mama. Now, social media has recently been in an uproar because the public has discovered Kenneth L. Harris has filed a trademark for the word tendernism. And so the public is feeling like, hey, someone's trying to steal Mr. Tendernism's brand. Now, Mr. Harris did make a statement on TikTok basically saying he's a black man. He wasn't trying to steal tendernism, but he knew or he feared that other people would try to steal it. So he trademarked it first. He's an attorney. Mr. Kenneth Harris is an attorney. He trademarked it first. He's been trying to get in contact with Mr. Tendernism to transfer over ownership to him, but he's been unsuccessful. Now, the other thing is, when I did my little deep dive in legal research, Kenneth is not the only one who has filed a trademark. Now, Mr. Harris filed his trademark for the word tendernism in 2 different classes. He filed that as early as November 16th, 2025. But subsequently, we have a whole separate person who has filed for a trademark. And guess who that is? Now, we've all heard of the restaurant Destination Smokehouse. But when you check the trademark records, there's a separate company called Diamond Smokehouse who filed subsequent trademarks after attorney Kenneth Harris. And so inquiring minds are probably thinking, well, who is Diamond Smokehouse? Because the white boy we see on TikTok with Mr. Walt, Mr. Tendernism, his company is called Destination Smokehouse. But you know, we do thorough research around here. So let's figure out who owns Diamond Smokehouse. Now, when I did my research on the California Secretary of State site, when you search Diamond Smokehouse, the owner, as you can see below, is Nicholas Yapriman. Okay. Now let's go search for Destination Smokehouse and see, is it the same owner? All right. So when you pull the formal paperwork for Destination Smokehouse, you can see the name at the top. In the section that says officers, you see the same name, Nicholas Yapirian. So we conclude that Diamond Smokehouse, who filed the trademark for tendernism, is owned by Nicholas, who also owns Destination Smokehouse. Now, there are some statements going around on social media that, hey, Mr. Tendernism actually is a business owner with Nicholas, and he owns a portion of Destination Smokehouse. As we can see from the official paperwork, that is not true. Walt, Mr. Tendernism, he's not listed on any of the formal paperwork. The only way he would have an ownership interest in the company is if they transferred ownership shares of the corporation to him, and it would have to be memorialized in writing, some type of contract. He would have to receive the shares, things like that. I'm willing to bet that has not happened. Now, the other thing that comes into play before we get to a resolution is this. The employee-employer relationship is always important when it comes to who owns the intellectual property. Typically, when you work for an employer as their employee, what you produce in your day-to-day duties as a part of your employment belongs to the corporation, the employer, okay? However, if you are an independent contractor, the same is not so. Now, from what I've seen in these videos, from what my intuition is saying, there is no employee-employer relationship. It looks like Mr. Tendernism is an independent contractor. And if that is the case, then Destination Smokehouse, Diamond Smokehouse, what are any of the Destination Smokehouse's affiliate companies, they have no ownership in Mr. Tendernism's intellectual property. None at all. He's an independent contractor. All right. But obviously, we would need more facts and information to fully clarify that. But now let's get to what's the resolution. All right, now let's talk about the resolution. But before we go into the resolution, I would have to talk about Ancient Mama first. So Ancient Mama, as you can see, this was a black woman back in the day who something very similar to what's happening with Mr. Tendernism happened with her. She was known for making very good pancakes. She had this syrup recipe and everything. And the white people that she worked for stole everything from her, including her image. They slapped it on a bottle of syrup, and it's been selling since the beginning of time. And us as Black people didn't know until recently that this was the scenario. So, we stopped buying it because the whole time we thought, hey, it's a Black woman's face on it. It's owned by a Black woman. Let's buy the Black woman syrup. That's not the case. So the way that Mr. Tenderism can protect his brand, regardless of the current trademarks that are filed for the word tenderism, is he needs to copyright and trademark his likeness. Okay, just like we bought the Ain't She Mama syrup because the Black woman was on that, a pretty wholesome looking Black woman that looked like she knew how to get down in the kitchen. The same way we bought that syrup because of her likeness being on the bottle, Mr. Tenderism could have the same effect. The only difference is we want Mr. Tenderism to own it. Okay, so the way he would protect his likeness and his image is to find his favorite photo of himself, something similar to this, where he got the hat on and everything and the mustache and all the things that we know him for, and copyright it and trademark it, right? And this way, this will solidify his particular brand regardless of the word tenderism being going through a trademark fight right now. Because you know what? He could slap his photo of himself on any products and we would buy it because now we know, okay, this is his product. This is him. Okay. He can slap his photo on a logo for his own restaurant, just like KFC, just like McDonald's. When we see KFC, when we see the old white man with the gray beard and all that, we know it's KFC. Okay. And he could do the same thing with his own restaurant. And
at least he got a job. Oh, they bought him a Benz. Y'all don't know their relationship. Shut up, man. The problem with our community is when we try to save somebody or try to liberate somebody from a situation that they in, y'all always come through and say somebody hating. Ain't nobody hating on Unc. We see that Unc being used and we don't like it. Lord forbid we call something out. And it's sad because a lot of Black men gonna fall into the same cycle that they granddaddy fell into, they great-granddaddy fell into, they great-great-great-granddaddy fell into, all because you don't want to wake up. Yeah, it's Unc life. Unc can do what he want to do, man, but that still don't take away from the fact that Unc being used in that restaurant, man. Now, I wish Unc the best of luck in whatever he doing, his future endeavors, whatever. You get what I'm saying? But don't suppress your big dreams for the dreams of other people, bro. That's the lesson in this shit, man. My grandma always told me you learn from your examples. You don't follow your examples. Now, I'm gonna let Calvin Candy and Steven run Candyland however they want to, and I'm gonna just be happy for Unc. But guess what? Sometimes you just gotta let people stay chained up. Let people stay chained up, and if they sleep, let them sleep, bruh, because people get mad when you wake them up, bruh, and that's for real.
Let's take a trip down memory lane when it comes to Destination Smokehouse. Now, y'all see this building in back of me? Well, some of y'all may not know, but this was actually the original location of Destination Smokehouse. It's in a town located called Hemet, California. For those of you who aren't familiar with the area, it's basically like the hills have eyes. It's a retirement community. Now, when I would visit my mom, I would come out here, and pretty much out in Hemet, Destination was the only place to eat at. My favorite menu item was the brisket Philly. It was the only thing that I would order. And I would always get my order to go because, y'all, it's the hills have eyes out here. So one day I'm ordering my food to go, and in walks Mr. Tenderism himself. And mind y'all, this was before social media. This was before the hype. This was before the new owners bought the restaurant and moved it to Marietta. And this was such a sweet Black man. And I asked some of the workers that were working there, I was like, who is this man? And they said, oh, you know what? He's been working here for years. He was one of the original chefs. And this good barbecue that you're tasting, it was actually his recipe. So according to the locals, from what I was told, rumor has it, is that it's Unc's recipe. Now, some of you may be thinking, why is this relevant? Why is this important? Well, when the new owners bought it over, it was a little disappointed because I thought, oh, well, maybe they're just expanding and they're going to keep this location in Hemet. Well, unfortunately, they didn't. So all of the employees that worked there were without a job because driving from Hemet to Marietta out here in the IE is just a lot for people. So we got a new location and still Unc's recipe. Now, the question is because he may have been the original chef or the cook, but it was his original intellectual property. So if he created the recipe, the new owner buys the restaurant, takes Unk's intellectual property to a new location. Is he giving Unk his rights? Is he giving him the money that he deserves for his unique original recipe? Because if it weren't for Unk's recipe, then it would be no Destination Smokehouse. And I understand, like, I'm not trying to be in Unk's wallet. No one is debating what their financial situation or what their agreements are. This is important to our community because so many times, especially in melanated communities where we create something, we have an original idea, and someone else capitalizes and colonizes off it. So for those of us that are invested in this whole narrative and this story, the concern is because this is a man's intellectual property. This is something that he probably had in his family generation recipe for years where he put his foot in it. Is he getting the credit? Is he getting the rights that he deserves for creating something such as this? Because without Unk's recipe, if it is his original recipe, rumor has it that it is. I'm just speculating off of what came out of people's mouths that served me at the restaurant, the original restaurant. If it is, give him his rights to the recipe that he created, because if it weren't for Unk, there would be no Destination Smokehouse. And this also goes along the lines of colonization, capitalism, and exploiting people for their time, money, energy, and resources, and not fairly compensating them. This is actually the same concept of thinking that there isn't enough for everybody when we live in a world of abundance. And if the restaurant is benefiting financially off of this man's intellectual property, then it is only morally right to actually give him what he deserves. And, I just want to say to Unk, from somebody who has been down with your recipe from back in the Hemet, you got people that love you, that support you, that just want to see you do right. And we may understand, you might feel like you have a certain level of loyalty to this situation because, being from where you are, living out here, you probably live in Marietta now. That's a lot better than living in Hemet. But we want to let you know that loyalty has nothing to do with the king that you are. So if there is any manipulation going on, this is why the internet is coming for the situation. And if it's something as simple as to just easily clearing it up, right? Rather than gaslighting and avoiding the conversation and still carrying on and using Uncle as the social media spokesperson. Because if you are a company, by the way, and you are having someone grow your social media account, there should be a monthly payment for that as well, right? Because influencers, as we are in the world of social media, actually come with a price too. So if it's not Unk's recipe and he is actually helping the business grow because of his unique persona, actually it's not even a persona, that's just who Unk is, then he should be rightfully compensated for that as well. That's all I'm saying.
And she stopped me. I was at the soda machine, and she's like, "How does it feel to change the world?"
Ain't nobody come here to see you, Otis. And ain't nobody say that to you. How does it feel to be changing the world? You making barbecue, bro. Come on, stop it. Now all of a sudden when the black community don't want to support Destination Smokehouse, now you're making a video pretty much saying like, hey, I ain't racist, guys. Nobody said you're racist. We said you're capitalizing off of black business when it is not black owned. And we see the jig that is going on, and the jig is up. And then you got tendernism sitting in the back of your video like a fucking prop, and it's given to Django. That's all. It's given the Django movie.
It all feels forced and it's giving off the energy like, hey, I got a black friend. Guys, don't worry, I'm not a racist.
So
the truth is that he wanted to be tendernism. He wanted to be tendernism because tendernism started having all the people come there. He had started having all the attention from creators. And he could not understand why, if he's the owner, why is his face not in the videos? And white folks, even when they're not blatantly racist, they have a hard time not being a main character. Now I got this saltine dancing and shucking and jiving on my timeline. Because he thinks black support boils down to dancing and food. When it was the attitude, it was the flow in which tendernism was given off, and that is what we supported.
My brother has to go back. He's got some special stuff to attend to. How you feel, man?
Pretty good, pretty good. I'm leaving Dallas out of this gate right here. I can't tell you where I'm leaving out of, but anyway, I'll see y'all again in the southern part of California, City B. Marietta. You know what we do. This destination, one the nation. And we'll see you again, Dallas. That's all.
Special trip, brother. I appreciate you.
Yes,
I
sir.
love you. Thank you for coming out here.
I got you. I'll see you when we get back.
You can't say you love me on camera?
I love you, boy. Anytime. Camera ain't got
The customer service, my family said, was very good.
And she stopped me. I was at the soda machine, and she was like, how does it feel to change the world?
Ain't nobody come here to see you, Otis. And ain't nobody say that to you. How does it feel to be changing the world? You making barbecue, bro. Come on, stop it. Now all of a sudden when the black community don't want to support Destination Smokehouse, now you're making a video pretty much saying like, hey, I ain't racist, guys. Nobody said you're racist. We said you're capitalizing off of black business when it is not black owned. And we see the jig that is going on, and the jig is up. And then you got tendernism sitting in the back of your video like a fucking prop, and it's given to Django. That's all. It's given the Django movie. It all feels forced and it's giving off the energy like, hey, I got a black friend. Guys, don't worry, I'm not a racist. The truth is that he wanted to be tendernism. He wanted to be tendernism because tendernism started having all the people come there. He had started having all the attention from creators. And he could not understand why, if he's the owner, why is his face not in the videos? And white folks, even when they're not blatantly racist, they have a hard time not being a main character. Now I got this saltine dancing and shucking and jiving on my timeline. Because he thinks black support boils down to dancing and food. When it was the attitude, it was the flow in which tendernism was given off, and that is what we supported.
Long time, I just know this dude, man. You know, he don't take about all the soda pops over on that line, got all the ice and everything.
Every time I come up here, I wait at least 5 minutes. I try and be nice. I don't want to act like, hey, I'm the owner, get out of my way. And then I just stand here and watch this.
Oh, man. Hey, y'all the dudes from the TV. I mean, social media. I watch all y'all videos, man.
You look like Pella Window. I've been standing here, something that looks straight through me or something, man. I don't know what the hell, you know.
Look, it ain't my fault, man. All right? It's just so many choices. I feel spoiled.
Only thing you gotta do is get together, slide to left, give me a chance. I just want somebody.
Hey, the lemonade and the black cherry, slam dunk, try it.
Gave him to try. It's in the office.
Let's see if he likes this one. Come on.
Hey, Gio, did you get any candy to give away to kids today?
Oh my God. You still waiting? How long you been here?
Man, you know, he don't take about all the soda pops over on that line, got all the ice and everything.
Every time I come up here, I wait at least 5 minutes. I try and be nice. I don't want to act like, hey, I'm the owner, get out of my way. And then I just stand here and watch this.
Oh, man. Hey, y'all the dudes from the TV. I mean, social media. I watch all y'all videos, man.
You look like Pella Window. I've been standing here, something that looks straight through me or something, man. I don't know what the hell, you know.
Look, it ain't my fault, man. All right? It's just so many choices. I feel spoiled.
Only thing you gotta do is...
2. No, it's okay. We'll bring it out separate. And watch this. Come on.
One in the nation. Come.
This is crazy, man. How you...
Developed with the help of Chef Morgan, but this guy masterminded the finished product, the flavors, every single thing on these trays right here. That's his brother right here.
We see what you do.
His favorite. Let's see. All right.
Come on, man.
Hold on. Let me see. Am I doing it right, Walt?
Man, look at here, man. Don't be trying to mess my cocktail.
See,
see,
man, my bad.
See, that's cold blood. Look,
hey,
that's cold blood. See,
it came off.
Let's
see what it tastes like, though. Hold on. It's got to taste good. Tendernism isn't about it being tender. It's got to taste good, too. That's what tendernism means.
Destination. One in the nation. Come get it. Lamb chop. You ain't got, wait, you ain't got.
So we're gonna do a little lamb here again. You guys already know. Little secret weapon here. A little bit of lamb juice on here. Sorry, yam. I don't know why I keep saying lamb. This is lamb.
He got a job. Oh, they bought him a Benz. Y'all don't know their relationship. Shut up, man. The problem with our community is when we try to save somebody or try to liberate somebody from a situation that they in, y'all always come through and say somebody hating. Ain't nobody hating on Unc. We see that Unc being used and we don't like it. Lord forbid we call something out. And it's sad because a lot of black men gonna fall into the same cycle that they granddaddy fell into, they great-granddaddy fell into, they great-great-great-granddaddy fell into, all because you don't wanna wake up. Yes, Unc life. Unc can do what he wanna do, man. But that still don't take away from the fact that Unc being used in that restaurant, man.
I have a theory about what's happening with Destination Smokehouse, Tendernism, Unc, and
one in the nation.
If you don't know what I'm talking about, look it up real quick. One of the most cringy displays of jealousy. So my theory is that not only did this guy copyright the word tendernism, I think that he had Unc sign an NDA. I've been around the restaurant industry most of my life. I've been in a situation where I signed an NDA and an owner went and took credit for my work on TV. The fact that Unc has not spoken about this and only defend this man, and now he just put Unc on a plane, it just screams NDA to me. It screams that Unc cannot talk about it. The other people at the restaurant can't talk about it because this guy seems like the kind of guy that would make his employees sign an NDA. And the more he gets on videos and tries to defend it, it's like when you're in an argument and you know you're wrong and it's just word vomit coming out of your mouth and you know you should stop talking, but you just don't. That's what's happening right now. So what do you guys think? NDA? Any other theories? It's tough to watch. Love you guys.
I'm really just doing this video today for people to understand more about Destination, who I am, and I just want people to get to know me, you know, not just some guy that they see who's with Walt, but who I really am and what my involvement is with this business.
So allegedly they have fired Unc from Destination Smokehouse, Mr. Tenderism himself. That's what I said. Allegedly they had fired Unc from the Tenderism Destination Smokehouse because all he was the face of it anyway. Because of Keith Lee, we found out that y'all was already cutting the meat off the bone to make it tender. Sides ain't hitting on nothing, but the oxtails were good and we don't even know who was cooking them because it wasn't Unc. But come to find out, he done got rid of Unc to try to steal the trademark tenderism. That's right. It has been noted that he has tried to obtain the tenderism trademark under two different names. I think it was one person was a Diamond Smokehouse and Destination Smokehouse. And when you go to see who these people are, they are owned by the same person. That's right. So the owner of Destination Smokehouse knows now that we see through all the smoke and mirrors, he's trying to steal the tendernism logo, trademark or whatever, so Unc can't get it. But another lawyer has already beaten him to the punch and trying to find Unc because the lawyer has got secured the tenderism trademark, and all Unc has to do is put a face with the name. But we all know it's a bunch of bullshit now, so them sales is finna go down. I don't care what that owner do, we would never look at the Destination Smokehouse the same. I don't care if he brought Unc back or not. We all know now that he took advantage of Unc and he was treating him bad, was not treating him fairly, using him, kind of like they did Aunt Jemima in that syrup, because he knew if he put Unc as the tenderism trademark or the face of tenderism, and we saw Unc up there with that meat barbecue, we was gonna automatically think that this was a man, a black African American man that could really cook and throw down on some oxtails. He was smart, but not smart enough. Now the cat's been let out the bag thanks to Keith Lee. Now he wants to try to steal the trademark of tenderism for Unc. You know what I'm saying? I hope he don't get away with this, but I bet you his restaurant finna close, slap down. Don't nobody want your tough ass meat and them bad ass sides. And the only thing you got going for you is them oxtails, and you always run out of them anyway. And who cooking that food anyway?
Today, I know you guys are getting used to this, so I don't want to make it boring.
Hey, where the hell is Unc?
I saw you put that man on that plane and I ain't seen him since. Where you seen him at? All of a sudden it's you in every video and then the people in the kitchen in the damn videos. Where's Unc? That's who we come to see. Ain't nobody here to see you. Don't nobody know you. Go get Unc back.
Truth. Just tell the truth. Just tell the fucking truth. It might hurt people's feelings. It might be scary for you. It might not be the most socially acceptable thing. But tell the fucking truth.
Say one thing up right now. This my partner, Nick. He my brother. He my H-bone cone. We gonna keep it that way.
Now I understand why Mr. Tenderism is being treated the way that he's being treated. We gonna take this thing all the way back to 2019 before COVID, right? So Nick's father owned a coffee shop, right? His father passed away. Nick took over the coffee shop, named it Destination Coffee Bar. So one day, Walter Johnson, aka Mr. Tenderism, him and his wife came into the establishment and they were talking to Nick's mom, right? And so they were telling Nick's mom, you know, he's from New Orleans, he makes this great gumbo, etc., etc. So Nick asks his mom, who is she talking to? She tells him, this is an older gentleman, he makes great gumbo, he's from New Orleans, etc., etc. The following day, Mr. Tenderism, aka Mr. Johnson, shows up at the coffee bar. Before the shop is even open, he is standing out there with a chef jacket on. And Nick is like, yo, what are you doing? You know, I haven't talked this over with my mom yet. Let me talk this over with my mom and we'll call you back tomorrow. Nick calls him back. He starts working at the coffee shop. He starts making his gumbo. They start selling the gumbo at the coffee shop. Couple months pass, COVID happens, right? So they shut down for 2 months. They reopen and Walter, aka Mr. Tenderism, has this idea that they should start selling barbecue out the coffee shop. After they started selling barbecue at the coffee shop, fast forward 2 years later, they take coffee off the menu completely because the barbecue was selling so well. Now fast forward a couple years from that point to the point we're at today. It's no longer Destination Coffee Bar, it is Destination Smokehouse. He's the owner. His mother is clearly the co-owner. Mr. Tenderism is an employee. Even in this interview, he says he's responsible for marketing. Now, don't get me wrong, he gives him a lot of credit in this interview. He also credits him on some type of situation that him and his wife were having, that Mr. Tenderism was able to help him with. So now it makes sense why Destination Smokehouse moves the way that they move. It's because he volunteered his services to this man. And in return, this man made millions off of him. Now I finally understand the full picture. Now I don't even care no more. That man did that to himself. All them great ideas that you had that you was giving this man, he took it and capitalized on it. And you still remained an employee, no matter what. Or excuse me, head of marketing. That's why you don't see Mr. Tenderism in the videos no more, no nothing. They don't send Mr. Tenderism back home. We don't need you no more. We got the product, we got the recipe, we making the meats. We don't need you no more. Now it all makes sense.
Yeah, and watch this. Come on.
One in the nation.
Destination Smokehouse is exactly why I make videos. Tenderism is exactly why I make videos about white people in America. And y'all get mad, y'all fight with me in my comments, but let me explain to you what happened. There's a black man who was so passionate about his product that we thought he owned the place. That's how he showed up to work for somebody else. And culturally, to be black in America is to have an uncle exactly like that. So he gained respect and notoriety. People took flights to go try this man's food. To be black in America and have a black-owned business, you will be supported because the black dollar is so powerful. But guess what though? Behind the scenes is a white man using him like he's somebody's fucking Bojangles. And I'm pissed about it. I had to calm down before I wrote this because I'm passionate about it. This man's intellectual property was used. To be black in America is to be exploited for something that comes from inside of you. When everybody tries to say we don't have culture, our intellectual property is our culture. Our dance is our culture. Our style of dress is our culture. Y'all take it every day, time and time again, and the story is as old as fucking time. Tenderism is being used not only for barbecue, but for everything, widespread across America, not only kept in our culture, and it's not appreciated, it's appropriated. You allowed him to be the face of your brand, make your brand money, and we don't even know where that money is going. All those black people that traveled there to try that food, to put money into that business, was because of that black man, and we don't even know if his life has changed in any capacity or if you are sucking every dollar he can make you out of him. Does he own it? It needs to be known. We had Keith Lee about to give him $4,000, and you sat up next to the black man who led the charge in making your business money, to talk about another black man, and that man was the most silent he has been ever on any video. Quiet, no jumps, no throwing hats, no smacking his feet, no smacking his knee, no nothing. Quiet. And something about black people that y'all don't know is we do experience telekinesis, and we can look at our uncle and know, sums up, a Caucasian is afoot. The moment y'all decide to stop exploiting us, and I'm so glad what was in the dark came to the light and you were exposed, because I'm sure your bottom line will be done after this. All that money you made, you're going to have to pay it back. See, ancestors don't play about us. You fucked up, as y'all typically do, and when I make these videos about white people, y'all have a problem. Example A. Stop exploiting black people for their God-given intellectual property and sense of culture tied to their creativity. Now what you gonna do?
You watch this video, I don't know what to say. I mean, you know, I'll pray for you. I hope God intervenes in your life in some way that makes you a happier person, but the whole thing in life is to be undeniable. Walt and I, our whole mission is to make food, provide a restaurant and service and an atmosphere that's undeniable, that you can't be mad once you come to destination.
No, can't be mad at murder. I can read it. It's like a legal weapon.
Right, go.
Hey, but anyway, Nick.
Yeah.
Hey, man, you know, we give praise to God, because it wouldn't have happened if he wouldn't have been here. And that's what we do. Definitely. You know, we got to get honor where honor's due.
Definitely.
Thank you, Jesus.
God brought us together, for sure.
Hey.
All day.
All the time.
No, for real.
I know it.
It wouldn't have happened any other way. His dad's up there, my dad's up there, and he put us together.
And we've been, well, look, it's fun. We finna have some fun now.
Good, what the problem
buddy.
is, you don't understand my situation. Looking from the outside, seem like things off course, but of course you making assumptions that you make public, but I don't keep. I'm good and I know what I need. Ain't nobody business among everybody business. We out here crashing every good, you should just mind your business and get your money up. Get your money up.